So I'm starting a brand new weekly crafting vlog with the Sophie Shawl. I have said that this is something that I want to cast on. Now the Magnus cardigan is sort of somewhat finished. I've printed this off, bought the pattern, printed it off, and now I'm ready to get started. So I have my 5mm circular knitting needles, which the pattern calls for, and then I have my Aran weight yarn. So I've got several balls of this. Not going to use them all because I've got 6, but I'm going to use this for the Sophie Shawl. I have just watched a YouTube video to go through some of the stitches needed in this pattern, particularly the knit front and back, which is an increase. Yeah, because, hang on, I'll show you a picture. So I'll show you on this picture. You can see how it's short or small and then it goes large. And then in the middle is where it then decreases. So obviously I've not started yet, but I'm going to increase up until a certain point and then decrease. So yeah, let's get started. This one is James C. Brett Aztec Aran weight yarn with alpaca. And yeah, it's really nice and soft. It's got a bit of a squish to it. So that is the yarn that I'm using. I bought these fairly cheap pony circular knitting needles. They were only £3.63. So because I'm a beginner knitter, I thought I'd start cheap, and then hopefully one day when I become quite an advanced knitter, hopefully, I can get better needles. Okay, so I'll do a slip knot to begin, and then I can cast on, I think it's 6 stitches. I'm just going to use a normal cast on method. Yeah, so we'll see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So yeah, it starts very basic, to be honest. It's just like, hang on, I'm not going through the pattern. You got to buy it yourself if you want to make it. So yeah, hopefully I can do this. This takes a lot of concentration. Concentration face. To watch that YouTube video again. Although she does it continental style.
Demonstration, I'm going to show you how to increase by knitting front and back. I put a stitch marker in there to show me this side, in there to show me this.
I'm gonna have to find another video.
Begin your knit stitch the regular way into the front. Without taking the yarn off your needle, we will bring our needle around to the back, going to knit into that same stitch, and then take it off your needle. Now we have 2 stitches instead of just 1. Let's knit front and back one more time. Knit into the front. Keep the yarn on your needle. Knit into the back. Take it off, and you have increased an additional stitch. To knit front and back, please hit like and subscribe to Studio Knit. Check out my entire knitting lesson playlist.
I did it!
And when you subscribe,
thank you, Studio Knit. Okay, knit the last 3. Perfect! Just got to get a stitch marker now to put on the increase side. Yes! It's my first 6 rows. Okay, I guess I will continue this. Yeah, this will be an ongoing project because I'm a beginner knitter and this is my second knit project that I've cast on, and I am following a pattern. Although to some advanced knitters this is probably a very basic pattern, which that's why I chose it. But yeah, I will continue with this. Progress on the Sophie Shawl, and I have just poured myself a glass of red. Okay, it's time for the school run, and it's very, very frosty out there. So I need to wrap up. Very cozy. Now this is cosy. Right, let's get this boy to school, shall we? Yeah, as I've been knitting on this, I realised just how lucky I am with my shift patterns. I do get 4 days off a week, technically. The hours I work, they're 12.5-hour shifts a day, a night, and I work 3 shifts a week, which does come to 36 hours. Technically part-time, but it's basically full-time hours. And then the other days, I literally get to do anything I want. I love that. Because I work 2 night shifts during the week. The day after my night shift, I technically write off, although it is still a day off for me, but I am very tired, and you know, I do try and get a bit of crafting done, but I also want to have a little sleep as well, as you can imagine. But there's some days where I just feel like I just want to do crafting all day, so I don't actually have a nap. Yeah, that's not very healthy. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm currently on 124 rows. Yeah, it's coming along really well. As I said, it's the Sophie Shawl, and it's by Petite Knit, if I hadn't mentioned already. I don't think I have. It says on the pattern who it's by, but yeah, it's by Petite Knit. She does loads of other patterns. I think there's quite a basic jumper pattern that she has that I might want to cast on as well. One project at a time though. I want to just, you know, get the basics down, and yeah, I know how to knit, purl, do garter stitch, stockinette stitch, and now I know how to increase as well with the knit front and back, which is how they increase in this pattern. I'm definitely learning a lot from this project. So yeah, if there's anyone out there who doesn't know how to knit and would like to learn, I would recommend this project as maybe a first project to cast on, as long as you know the basics of how to knit, purl, and then just simply YouTube how to increase, because that's what I did. The first video I watched, she was knitting in continental style, and because the yarn was being held to the other side, that confused me a bit. I'm a very visual learner, so I like to see things being done, and so YouTube really helps me to see what to do. But as I said, because she was knitting continental style, I needed to find another video of someone doing it with the English style knitting. So I did, and I had to watch it a few times, but then, you know, it just clicked. Yeah, it's the simple things, isn't it? I was just getting further and further along the other evening with this. And each stage where it just looked a little bit different, I was showing my husband. I think I was sort of like up to here, and you know, I could see the pattern developing with the I-cord edging, and yeah, I was just like, look, I've done it. Yeah, it's just simply working all the way up, increasing every 6th row. It's very, very simple actually. And I'm already wanting to make another one in a different yarn. I've not even finished this one yet. I'm not even halfway. But I do want to make another one in like maybe some merino yarn. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I am going to continue with this, as I keep saying. But I also want to get on with other projects. I've still got my Battenburg blankets sitting there. All the squares are done. I could potentially do that later, work on this for a bit, and then just jazz things up a bit and work on a different project. But I think if I chip away a few rows every day, it will get there eventually. I'm just liking working on this at the moment. It's very therapeutic and it's very easy actually. Just relaxing, you know, being at home on my own, peace and quiet. Even my husband's out on a site visit at the moment, so yeah, I'm literally, well, I'm not home alone. I've got the dogs. I think the cats are about somewhere. But yeah, it's just nice to just have some downtime. That's one of the reasons I picked crochet back up. And because obviously I like crocheting, and because I've been inspired by knitting patterns that I've seen other people share, I wanted to give that a go. I dropped a stitch there. Oh, no, I don't think so. It's evened out. 125. I do want to get another row counter. I think it's a case of just Googling or, like, you know, looking on Amazon really. But if anyone has a row counter that they would recommend, let me know down in the comments, because this is, yeah, this isn't very, I don't know, it's just a bit bulky. You have to turn this. I want one potentially where you just, you know, just click it. But yeah, let me know. I'm up for recommendations, especially like tried and tested ones. Can't remember why I've got that one now. Whether I think I got it because the 40-pin Centro knitting machine that I have, it doesn't have a row counter. I don't know if that one attaches to it or not. I don't think it does. Ah, I just remembered. Okay, so I've done 125 rows. 126 is where I need to increase, which is this actual stitch. Good job I don't get too distracted. So yeah, there we go, that's my increase, knit front and back. I'm getting the lingo. So yeah, you just literally knit all the way to the end and then you slip the last 3 stitches purlwise. So that's when you need to then bring the yarn in the front, and then just slipping them off basically, with your needle in the front. Yeah. Let me know down in the comments if any of you guys have knitted the Sophie Shawl. I think this is a very popular pattern. I've seen many other people make it, and I think that's why I was inspired to make one myself, as well as it being, you know, a very simple, beginner friendly pattern, I would say. I mean, I'm doing it, I'm a beginner, you know. So yeah, I just stopped to chat, but I was watching Laura from the Lonely Knitters podcast, and yeah, I'll continue watching that and knit.
Being very busy, so we'll see, but I want to get it started today. My other project that is now going to start being worked on is my Daft Days cardigan. So the Daft Days cardigan is a pattern by the Crochet, that's Rebecca Clow. Her pattern was chosen as one of the make-along patterns for this year's East Anglia Yarn Festival. Every year we choose 2 patterns, 1 crochet and 1 knit. And the idea is you make the thing and then you wear it to the show and you can pick up a free ribbon award that you can pin to your project. It's just a little bit of fun. I have since changed my mind. All I would cast on, I'd wound one skein up and I had cast on and knit. I was only going to regret these colours and looking at them.
Last square of the row. I think if I focus on doing at least one row a day, I will slowly like chip away at it. That's the plan anyway. Because I think this is the year to just get all the whips done, and I want to try and just focus on one project at a time. I'm not making any promises here, but I think that would be the best way to try and, you know, finish projects. Why would I put them down and then not come back to them? This is the Battenburg blanket by Sandra Paul of Cherry Heart podcast. I have mentioned that before, but just in case you haven't watched any of my other videos, because not everyone's a returning subscriber, I've very nearly finished this row. So this is row number 10. Another row done. I have managed to do 2 more rows. I'm really happy with that. Yeah, this blanket is going to take a while just because there's so many squares, and these squares are like 5 by 5 or 8 by 8. You know, look, they're the size of the palm of my hand. They're ever so small. They're like a solid granny square is the pattern. But yeah, I'm literally joining them all up, each and every one of them. It's not a race, but I think if I tell myself to do a couple every day, then it'll slowly chip away at it. I've got about an hour until I need to do the school run, and I haven't had lunch. So yeah, I'm gonna cook some noodles. They're spicy noodles, and then maybe pick up the knitting again. But I think I'm done with this for the day. Might pick it up in the evening again, who knows. That's the joy of this craft, isn't it? You know, just pick up what you fancy making. You don't have to do the same thing all the time. For now, I'm going to put this down, have some lunch, and then pick up the knitting again. So it's another day and another row. I did 2 yesterday, so I've nearly done another 1 row. I might stop at this one and then move on to doing the pockets for my Magnus cardigan so that it's out the way with and it's finished. I do want to try and be better at just finishing projects without putting them down half finished. Although I know the Magnus cardigan wasn't half finished, but you know what I mean. Next. And that's another row done. Okay, so I'm starting again with the Magnus cardigan to finish it off. So I'm making 2 pockets today and then hopefully get them sewn on. So to make the pockets, it says to start with the pink, like colour A, which is pink for me. So yeah, it sounds like it's starting from the bottom up because the pockets do have ribbing. Yeah, I guess you do that afterwards. Okay, I would have liked to have started with the ribbing first, like I did with the pattern. Okay, so I guess I'm starting with my colour A, which is this one. Once I've fully completed the cardigan, I will have to weigh it just to see how much yarn I've used, because I know I've used, with this ball, I think I've used 2. I've kept all the ball bands, so yeah, once I've completed it, I'll just have to see how many ball bands I've used and then weigh these to find out how much I've used from this, because I won't be using all of this. I've got 2 more pockets to make and that's it. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do, just to see how much it took, because this ball here is a 400-gram ball and I had 2, so I've used a whole one of them already. And yeah, as I said, this is my last one and I've only used a little bit of it, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to start with the pockets. Make 2 pockets, 6mm hook, colour A, chain 22. The phrase, shh, I'm counting, comes to mind. I always hate it when I'm making a chain and then someone talks to me. Just don't do it. Row 1, double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook and in each chain across. Okay, so 3rd chain from the hook. So that's row 1 done. It is looking quite wide for the pocket. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see, I guess. So now, okay, I needed to change to the black colour. So before I finish that one, I need to connect the black. The way I colour change is when I'm at this point on the last stitch, before finishing off that particular stitch, I will loop round my next colour and then finish the stitch, if that makes sense. So that's how I colour change with crochet. I think most people do, but just a little tip if you don't. So yeah, this is how the colour change is looking. So it's fairly seamless that way. I'll leave the other colour attached for the moment. I will have to snip it off actually. Okay, so it's a little bit of a while later. I had to put a pause on crafting because I had an hour-long Teams call. Not work related or anything. But yeah, I've got this far with one of the pockets. So I have started the ribbing, if you can see. But yeah, it's worked up quite quickly. I'm going to carry on with this and see how far I get. I do have craft group tonight with Ellie and some of the other people who come along last week. So I might take this. I think I'll finish this one pocket before then, but I have another one to do. So yeah, I could potentially take that to finish, but I do have my Sophie shawl that I'm working on as well. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll take my Sophie shawl, but I'll also take enough yarn, things like that, to work on my extra pocket. It's quite a large pocket actually. Can you see that? So I don't know, should I hold it next to my face? It's quite a large pocket, but it is quite a large cardigan. A little bit of an oversized cardigan, although it fits nicely. I don't know, no, I wouldn't call it oversized actually. It's not baggy in any places, it just looks large. But yeah, I'm working on the ribbing of the first pocket. I've mentioned it before, but it's so hard to see this black yarn. I have to hold it right close to my face. But yeah, there's literally only 3 single crochets, and then you slip stitch a couple of times into the single crochet row that you do here where the black is. So yeah, that's fairly easy. But seeing the black yarn is another thing. I will have to stop this at some point because I do have parents' evening for my eldest, which is just after 4. That's in about an hour's time. I don't think I'll get this finished before then, but I can pick it up again when I get home. I have to put it on an angle to see the stitches, like angle it towards the light. I was working on the actual collar of the cardigan the other week, or the other day, I can't remember, but anyway, I had to have a head torch on my head to actually see the stitches. Oh, it worked, because it was literally pointing directly at the stitch. Getting there. There it is, one pocket down. Finished my second pocket. Lily, good girl. Okay, so I've pulled out all my hand-dyed merino wool because I want to skein up one of them for a new project. Yeah, I don't know what project that will be, but I fancy either knitting or crocheting a merino wool project. If I go over to this side, I'll just scan through them. So we've got one from Creative Anarchy. That was actually taken out of my stash for a project for a friend, but I never got around to it, so put it back in my stash. And then all of these are from my friend Ellie, Craft House Magic. You can tell I like the ones with the specks of colour. They're all just slightly different as well, which I really like. Then we've got some blues. This one is not a colour of hers. That's like a second, I think. And then we got some from the Lonely Knitter. These were in the mystery bag that I purchased. And then these three are from her Strange and Unusual collection, which is based off of Tim Burton movies. And anyone who knows me knows I love a Tim Burton movie. And then over here, I've just put all my minis from Blue Fan Yarns. I purchased that in the sale, so I've got a bit of a deal there. I'm not sure I'll be caking these up, just because there's quite a lot of minis. And then I got another little selection here from Blue Fan Yarns. So this one was from her last afternoon tea. I'm yet to decide what to do with this one. But yeah, I do like the colours. And then these ones here, I got in my last haul from Blue Fan Yarns. Again, I chose sort of similar colours. They're all sort of on the purpley sort of base. And then these two here are from Moonlight Fibre. Again, I purchased these in a sale, and I thought I could do maybe a hat and cowl set, but that'll probably be for next winter, to be honest. And then moving on, I've got one skein from Castleview Yarns. I did use the other skein for a cowl. Then I've got one skein from Debonair Yarns. Again, I've used a skein from Debonair Yarns for a cowl. So yeah, which one do I choose? And what project do I make? Also, over here, I've got my bag of Malabrigo. I could also skein some of that up, actually. Decisions. Okay, so I've been looking through my colours and I've picked these out. So I've got a couple of Malabrigo Rios in like a pinky burgundy colour. They're looking a bit washed out on camera, not actually coming true to colour. No, the colours aren't coming out right for these two. Anyway, I've chosen these three colours. Only problem is the Rios, I believe is like a Aran sort of weight yarn, like worsted weight. And this one is a DK, but I want to use them in the same project. Yeah, I just think they look really nice together. And they might look nice in like a bit of a shawl, maybe. And then I did the same with these ones. I took a couple of different colour blues. Again, this is like the same thickness as the Rios, it's in a worsted range. And then I picked up a DK skein that I thought would go really nicely with this. I was thinking in like a bit of a striped fashion. Same with this. This is basically the pink version of the blue if I put them next to each other. So yeah, you can kind of see what I'm going for. Like a lighter pink, a variegated with sort of pinks in there, and then a darker pink, and then the same for this one, dark and a light sort of solid colour with like a variegated one in between. I don't know which one to go for. I love both. Decisions. So these are the colours I decided to wind up. So this one here is from my lovely friend Ellie of Craft House Magic, and this is in the colourway Where Wild Roses Grow, and this is a DK weight yarn. I paired it with two Malabrigos, which is so this one's the English Rose, and then this one is called Libra, both in Malabrigo Rios. So again, 100% merino wool. I thought I'd pair all three of these together to maybe make a shawl. What do you guys think? I love these colours together. I think they look really good.